Recently, I purchased a UniFi Protect Viewport. These are all stuff included in the package. The unit itself, a very thick HDMI cable, some mounting screws, and a mounting bracket. Normally in the back of your TV, there are multiple holes, so you can conveniently hide it behind your TV. First surprise to me is the size of the viewport. Is much larger than I thought. Just as a comparison, this is a Roku, right? So you can plug it to your TV's HDMI input. It's powered by USB. If you compare the size of the two things, they are not on the same level. Let me mention the elephant in the room. Why do I need a dedicated unit just to have the live view of the UniFi cameras? Why I cannot use such type of small unit to run an app, do the same thing, right? What's the point of this type of dedicated viewport unit? You may know Ubiquiti does have the UniFi Protect app on Apple TV. If you don't have Apple TV, you can DIY some small computers to view the cameras using browser. For example, you can use the low power Raspberry Pi, or you can utilize your old useless PC. Again, go back to the big question. What's the point of buying the expensive UniFi Viewport? This video is my first impressions video for the UniFi Viewport. I will have a follow-up video just to talk about the different options to view the cameras lively and how they compare to the UniFi Viewport. So stay tuned, check my channel for the next video. The second surprise to me is it doesn't come with a remote, which implies there won't be any interaction functionalities. The viewport is simply a passive device. You cannot choose a camera, zoom in, zoom out, and check the history. That's the biggest disappointment about this unit from me. On the top of the unit, there's a PoE in. It says main. But the other side, there's an interesting part. Ubiquiti labeled it as secondary. This is not a PoE out. It's just a normal 1 gigabit RJ45. For whatever reason, if you want to DC chain the unit with another computer, you can do that. And of course, here you have the HDMI part. The Ubiquiti Viewport has 8-core CPU, 4 GB of memory, enough for this type of usage, and its maximum power consumption is 9.5 watt. It supports two type of resolution. So if 4K, it only supports 30 Hz. Seemingly very low, but remember we are talking about UniFi cameras. If the cameras themselves only support 30 frames per second, there's no point you have higher refresh rate when it comes to TV, right? So it's enough. And if you want to connect to HD TV, yes, it supports 60 Hz refresh rate. This is my lab environment. I have 2 stacked UNVR, and now there are 4 G5 Flex cameras plus this UP-Viewport. The G5 Flex, they are 2K cameras, not 4K. If I go to the UP-Viewport, there are only 2 tabs, Overview and Settings. In the Overview, you can designate a live view layout, which you can define using web browser separately. On the Viewport device, you have no way to define the customized layout. If you go to Settings, you can change the name. So basically, from the Protect user interface, you cannot do anything about the viewport itself. But you know the whole point of viewport is to have the live view of the cameras, right? Of course, you need to define some layout for your cameras. For example, I have 3 here under the test. I'm going to use it in this video. So let's see how the display looks like by using the viewport. For a test, I use a 4K display, connected the viewport to the display because there's no way I can tell the resolution by using the UniFi software. This is what you see from the monitor itself. So it's confirmed it's 4K, it's 30 Hz. Just to show you that the viewport can handle 4-camera layout in 4K display in no efforts, I'm using a light to slowly move from left to the right, and you can see the viewport can show you the effect in real time. There's no delay. The image is very smooth. After a while, the unit becomes very hot. As you can see, the highest point is almost 135 Fahrenheit. I'm not really worrying about it, but it's just something I want to point out. For this type of device, you want to run it 24/7. So the real world power consumption is a big factor when it comes to performance. You can see now it only consumes 4.2 watt, pretty low. To dig deeper, let me SSH to the UniFi viewport. By the way, to understand how to enable SSH on UniFi Protect devices, you can watch another video in my channel. I already enabled SSH. Interestingly, the device name is called Protect Box. So let me first check what's the Linux version. Okay, then check the current processes. You can see the 800% CPU thing. I believe that's due to 8 cores. That's why you are seeing 800, but most of them is idle. Currently, the device is streaming 4 2K videos on a 4K display. That means the system still has a lot of potentials to have more loads. And you know what? The top processes, several of them caught my eyes. For example, the Surface Flinger. As I know, it is an Android system service. It doesn't directly render anything to the screen. What it does is to composite buffers of data before handling the data to the hardware abstraction layer. So that's why it's consuming a lot of CPU resources. That makes sense. And several other things. See, the Android hardware graphics composer and the Android media codec, the Android hardware power. Many of the important processes are Android. Interestingly, Ubiquiti chooses Linux as the operating system, but because the nature of the device is a IoT device, so Ubiquiti runs Android services for its core functionality. Okay, this is the end of this very short video. In general, I'm satisfied with the functionality of the viewport. There are two things I wish Ubiquiti can improve in the next version. First, lower the price a little bit. Second, add a remote and support some basic interactions so that at least I can change the layout or just to display one camera by using the remote. Okay, thanks for watching.